Thursday at the Cheltenham Festival kicks off with what is now known as the Turners Novice Chase, the artist formerly known as the JLT, the Marsh last year, 2 and a bit miles, novice chasing, and another race which could be argued as the best race of the festival. I think we've had that a few times already. The Supreme is shaping up that way. The Brown Novice Advisory, that could go that way. But this will turn out to be the best race of the festival. I'm convinced of it. A show of betting, which is 6-5 Bob Olinger favourite, 11-8 Galopin Des Champs, 4-1 L'Homme Presse, 9 Brave Man's Game, 10 bar. Right, we're going to keep this very simple. We're going to imagine it's 1:30 on Thursday afternoon, and we're going to talk about it like that. Okay, we're going to talk about the 3 at the head of the market because I think we'll all be agreed that one of those 3 will win it. 6-5 Bob Olinger, 11-8 Galopin Des Champs, 4-1 L'Homme Presse. Head of the Bob Olinger fan club, Davy Russell. Just wins?
Yeah.
Bills.
Yeah, he does. He wins. He's a good horse. Has he been beaten?
No.
Yeah, Fernie Hollow.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Oh, Bill's made a mistake.
Over.
Oh, stewards. Bum. Could Bill Esdaile's keeper or carer please report to the stewards room? Yes, he has.
She got beaten over hurdles.
Yeah. What is it? You've always loved him. You were right a year ago. You said it. What? You sit on
2 years ago. 2 years ago, I nominated him there. I was in France, wasn't I? And you asked me, "Can you spell that?" I said. So the guy that had him at the time was in the car with me, and I said, "Pat," I said, "How do you spell Bob Olinger?" He says, B-O-B Olinger. And it was the Olinger part I was struggling with, not the B-O-B part.
You've sat on multiple Cheltenham Festival winners, and you haven't sat on him.
I've never thrown my leg
but
over
you've
him.
always. What is it about him that sets him apart for you?
Just got everything. I saw him winning his point to point, and I said, wow. And then I saw him winning his bumper, and I said, wow. And it just continued on from then. He was beaten by Fernie Hollow in Goward, but
there wasn't much between them though, was
no,
it?
and it was the first run of the year. There was only a length between them. It was his first run of the year. And Fernie Hollow probably just had a little bit more zip, as it has turned out, because Fernie Hollow stayed a 2-miler and he stepped up in trip, which, he's got loads of stamina, he's loads of class. Look, there's a slight issue with his jumping visually, but I just think around Goward, he was a little bit, deliberate, we'll call it.
Safe?
Yeah, but Darragh O'Keefe was, he was by far and away the best horse in the race, so he was just slowing him down.
Okay.
It was I'd say now, Rachel, drop your hands down, he's with her, and leave this for the go. I think the worry is not there of his jumping. And he's just very good. He's just very, very good. He's done it at the top level all the way through.
We mentioned earlier that when you talk about Bob Olinger and particularly Galopin Des Champs, this is where the Times boys, and if you're into that, sectionals, etc.,
right,
these two are they're putting numbers up that horses haven't put up in years, apparently. And it's not necessarily a match. We'll come on to L'Homme Presse, but how do you see the race panning out, and who would be your selection?
Well, for me, Bob Olinger was brilliant over hurdles. And I haven't seen the brilliance over fences yet, if I'm honest. And I thought he was beat last time. When they swung in, I thought Capodanno had him. I thought Rachel was hard at work for the first time, but he found and he put the race to bed. So you can be positive from that front. But Galopin, to me, looks an unbelievable chaser. I haven't seen a horse make a chasing debut like that when he won first time out. And he followed it up last time at the Dublin Racing Festival. He just looks the real deal. And I'd definitely be with Galopin because I'm looking at their chasing careers rather than their hurdling careers. And I just think it'll be a race of a lifetime. I mean, it's going to be a terrific race between the pair of them.
Best race of the fest? Not that's the best race. Is this the race you're looking forward to the most?
I think it's the race that it's a race for the purists, as they say. I think it's one of those ones where all the questions will be answered. What normally happens in those situations is you get a silly innocuous fall or unsee early, and it's just really disappointing.
Or a couple of years ago, we had 3 of them drop out the week of with niggles and stuff like that.
Well, you can just get something funny happen in a novice chase.
Yeah, but we could get the Denman Cotto.
Yeah, a proper battle, a proper battle.
I'd be looking at the positives. I think we get them together.
Yeah.
And if one falls,
it'd be great for racing to have them together rather than separated. And if you ask me which one I go with Galopin.
You said them, okay, and in the previous breath you said Corso and Denman, and we all know that Imperial Commander felt like the one he never got the respect he deserved. The them was a 3, and they got proved that way. And L'Homme Presse, right? There is no horse I've been more impressed with than this season. He's been absolutely terrific. 4 from 4. Every race he goes in, he wins by further and further. If you're talking about jumping with Bob Olinger, well, you talk about this boy, his jumping is absolutely off the chart. It's so good. But you don't think he's quite in the league of those two, do you?
His jumping is good. I mean, he jumps a lot out to his left. He doesn't. This is L'Homme Presse. He's not razor sharp straight. He can jump, and he's economical, but he does jump. His jump. This will be a test like he's had no other. He's been able to dominate. He hasn't been jumping alongside horses of this caliber. And look, I agree with you. I think he's top class. But wow, if you had to grab one of these to own, you go Galopin or Bob Olinger. I think in this race. That's why I said L'Homme Presse for the festival.
You do think he'll end up again?
No, I just think if these two turn up here, I would be very surprised if the owners say, "Oh yeah, we'll have a go at that race. That looks like a nice hot bath to jump into." I think they're going to go, "No, look, let's be sensible. Let's go for the 3 mile race on a Wednesday."
Could be another good one for the pipped offer, couldn't it? You'd like to see the finish be a length or less anyway. As if we're talking about purist point of view, great Cheltenham battles. You look at the old Native River Mike Bike battle we had a few years ago. I know it was a Gold Cup, but you'd love to see these 2 or 2 of these 3 having a right tear up the hill, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I just think that Galopin's jumping style will put Bob Olinger under a pressure that he hasn't been put under before.
What have we laid?
We've actually laid Bob Olinger, so he's the main loser in the race. I think mainly because the reason that people expected Galopin to go the 3 mile route, and now it's looking like he's obviously going to go to the Turners. So Bob Olinger would be the loser. In terms of a selection, I'm going to be very boring and just think that Bob Olinger will get it done. I'm trusting the fact that he's beating really good horses over hurdles, so he's top class in terms of the engine. Whereas Galopin Des Champs, we've seen him obviously beat horses over fences this year, but he's not beat a Brave Man's Game or something like that yet. And whereas Bob Olinger has gone and done that. I think the race could be run suit as well if Galopin does go off in front. Bob Olinger could just sit in behind, so I think he's a pretty solid favourite, albeit not the strongest of fancies for the festival for me in this one.
We should touch on the each way angle because there's every chance there'll be less than 8 runners here, which if you can pinpoint or highlight something that will run now, that is an angle for the punters watching at home. I must admit, I can't see what it will be, which is normally the thing I like to do the most. Even if I don't fancy some of these horses, trying to back something at 33 that goes off 16 simply because it's a runner is great fun. But if ever there was a race where horses will be scared off, it will be this. Is there anything that will run?
No, I'd say the best thing from an each way point of view is to sit with your finger on the buzzer at the declarations on for the Tuesday, so on Sunday, because it depends what Willie sends to the Arkle. Well, so some of the horses that Willie's isn't going to run in the Arkle, the Saint Sam and those guys might.
Good angle.
Saint Sam is a 16-1 chance. He'd be quite interesting in this for the each way if he doesn't go down the Arkle route. But there aren't many. I mean, there's a big danger of being a small field. If the 2 big guns turned up, I think we're 6 runners, 7 runners. I really think we're going to be that small. Yeah. And it's hard to know who the other ones are because it's, these horses are bought to run at the Cheltenham Festival, and you want to give yourself the best chance to win a festival race. And going and banging heads with Bob Olinger and Galopin Des Champs isn't probably your route to a festival success. It might be a nice runner, but you're not going to necessarily beat them.
Free entry and a bit of lunch.
Free entry and a bit of lunch and
Badges horses, as we like to call them.
Badges horses, yeah.
Right. Selections.
Yeah, and the one thing that we didn't touch on is the beauty of the 3 of them is they all have course form.
Yeah.
Except
which
for,
we keep saying is key.
So it's rock solid. It's a rock solid race.
Well, I've had 3 proper ante-post bets. 2 of them are out for the season. And the only one left standing is L'Homme Presse, so I could rather do with him running in this race and getting some form of return. So, I won't abandon him now. I fully appreciate the other 2 are potential superstars, but I think he's the best we've got in this country, and I hope all 3 run in the race, and I hope we get to see a race of the ages. You will be in the Bob Olinger camp.
Yeah.
Bill.
Galopin Des Champs.
Galopin Des Champs.
BOB for me.
BOB. Bollinger.